Hello everyone and welcome to MJ Central, and in today's video I just wanted to give you an updated, video talking about my thoughts, hopes, and expectations for the Michael Jackson biopic. So without further ado, let's get started. That's right everybody, when the Michael Jackson biopic was first announced, I did make a video talking about my hopes and expectations. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below, in case you would like to see it. But now that we have more information about the movie, I just thought it would be a little bit better to maybe just update it a little bit. First of all, I want to say that the team behind this biopic is truly amazing, with the writer, the producer, even, Hum Lionsgate, hand out the movie, or whatever it's called, Graham King, a lot of great people. And of course, playing Michael is Jafar Jackson, Jermaine's son, Michael Jackson's nephew. I think it's great having a family member, because I feel like they could hire anybody, any actor to play Michael Jackson, but nobody's really going to know how it was with the family during Michael's lifetime and that, than an actual Jackson. And I think he's going to do just a great job. And I know from his music videos, he can sing, he can dance. It's a great pick. We have some new information a little bit ago that Prince Jackson, they won't be hosting Thriller Night this year at the Havenhurst House, because they'll be filming some scenes for the Michael Jackson biopic there. So I think it's amazing that they're going to use, the actual Jackson Encino House in the movie, and I still have hope, maybe not hope, but I still think that some scenes will also be shot at the real Neverland, of course, because, Ron Burkle now owns it, and some things have come back, like some riots and stuff like that. So I think it would be great, if they use, actual places that Michael lived in and stuff like that for the movie. It makes it feel a lot more authentic. So now that I've kind of given my thoughts about the new information that we have, I just want to talk a little bit more about my hopes and expectations, because of some other things that have come out recently. First of all, John Branca says that, he wants this to be the highest grossing biopic in history. I don't think that goal is out of reach. I think that is very reachable. I mean, This Is It became the highest grossing, I think, music documentary, something like that, of all time. I got to see This Is It in theaters. So, if that already happened with This Is It, I feel like a biopic for Michael Jackson, yeah, of course it's going to make a lot of money, and I think it's going to be a huge success. And some of my hopes and expectations for the movie, other than commercial success, is to really show the world who Michael Jackson was. I think everybody tries to make, when I say everybody, I'm not talking about us, the fans, and maybe not even really the general public. I'm talking about more the media. And I'm going to talk about the media in a bit, and stuff like that. But I'm just talking more about, when I say we or people, I'm mainly referring to the media. I don't want anybody to think I'm taking shots at people, because that's absolutely not what I'm doing. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just so you know. I think people try to make Michael Jackson as this huge controversial star, this huge weird person. But I really think that that's far from the truth, and I think this documentary, or sorry, not documentary, I think this biopic needs to prove that Michael Jackson was just a normal person like you and I. The only difference is that, of course, he had a lot of fame. This biopic needs to finally lay to rest all these rumors about Michael Jackson. It needs to show, his vitiligo. I think his vitiligo is a huge thing that it needs to show. Because we know Jafar is playing Michael, and I'm sure that, Jafar will always play Michael. I'm sure they might, obviously they're going to cast someone else to play a kid Michael, but of course Jafar is going to be playing Michael, so, with all this technology that they can do, as we see from some movies, it has to show how Michael had vitiligo, because, to this day, a lot of people still believe that Michael Jackson bleached his skin. And that is, of course, because of, all of these lies that, the media has fed for over, the past 30-something years, right? So it really needs to show how Michael had vitiligo and he did not bleach his skin. Saying on about that, it needs to tackle, okay, in the right way, because, of course, there's many ways people can go about it. But the allegations, I mean, it's something that nobody likes to talk about, right? But it needs to show how Michael Jackson was the victim and that he didn't have victims. And I think there are many ways to do this. We know, the fans know the true backstories of all of this. You know, when we talk about the 1993 allegations, how the accuser's father is trying to extort Michael for all this money so he could start like do a play or a movie. You know, it needs to show that. You know, it's when it comes to the allegations, you know, they can't sugarcoat anything. Of course, they're going to show it as Michael Jackson was innocent because he is innocent. And this is going to be a very, well, from what I believe, you know, or at least what it should be, it's going to be a very honest documentary because you have to tackle these situations in a way to show people the truth. Because there's been lying about these things for the past 30 years. I think it's time to lay to rest all of those rumors and show how Michael Jackson was innocent. You know, even the trial, you can show all the shady work that happened behind the scenes from Tom Sneddon. Because I think that's the goal, to tell the true, honest story. I think one of the main goals for his biopic is to really just humanize Michael Jackson. Because a lot of people, you know, think that, you know, because he was so famous, he wasn't even human anymore, which doesn't even make sense. You know, he had a lot of talent and a lot of fame, but he was a human, and he couldn't do anything, right? So, and even to show, I guess you could say, like, his behavior in his later years, you gotta, you know, you gotta make people understand that with the childhood Michael Jackson had was a completely different childhood than you and I had. You know, when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, I wasn't performing in front of hundreds and thousands of people. You know, I was at school. You know, something that he didn't get to do much. I was at school. I was going to the grocery store. You know, something that sadly he couldn't do much, you know. And he always had to live isolated. So I think this biopic just really needs to humanize Michael Jackson. You know, and this is it, you know, on the DVD it says, discover the man you never knew. I think this is, you know, but this is it, was more rehearsals, you know. I think this is really to discover the man that most people never really knew. And of course, you know, you have the Jackson family involved, which I'll bring up in my next point. And that's when I talk about the media and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this goal, or the goal, hopefully for the biopic, should be just let people know who the real Michael Jackson is and just celebrate his art, his music, his legacy, everything. And now for like the media parts and stuff, something that I read maybe a couple months ago now, a couple weeks ago, whenever it was big in the news. Something that just didn't make sense to me, kind of made me upset, and I'll explain it now. But I was doing a couple different parts. First of all, when I was talking about the allegations, this why do I keep saying documentary? This biopic, unfortunately, will be heavily criticized by the media. And I saw a tweet that said, if they show, you know, the allegations in a way that shows Michael's innocent, oh, they're hiding things. They show it in a different way, you know, whatever. It's just going to be something that the media is going to attack on and focus on. Even worse, I think it will be worse, like they'll attack him more than they did for the musical. Because for the musical, it's in 1992. Right, it takes place mainly in 1992. I've never seen the musical, but I just, you know, I know from that. And, you know, people say, oh, you know, it's a coincidence and all this stuff that, you know, the next years when everything happened. And you read all these articles for the musical when it first premiered on Broadway. And it was saying, you know, oh, it's, you know, they're hiding the man in the mirror. You know, they said all the things like that because they didn't really talk about the allegations in the musical. But obviously in this biopic, it will. And I have seen so many tweets and articles saying that because the Michael Jackson estate and the family, so because the Michael Jackson estate and his family are involved in this biopic, that they are going to slightly go over these topics. When I read that, I was like, what? Like, what? No, because I don't think people understand when a biopic, in this sense, like an actual, you know, big official biopic, because of course there's been so many unofficial ones. But when a biopic like this is made for an artist who has gone, of course the estate and maybe even the family will be part of it. You know, I can't confirm this, but I would like to imagine that the Whitney Houston estate was part of the Whitney Houston biopic. Same as for Elvis. Same as for Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sure some people from Queen were involved. When you have a biopic like this, the estate is involved. And in this case for the Michael, because I don't know about the other ones, because to be honest, I haven't seen them yet. I would like to see Bohemian Rhapsody, I just haven't seen them yet, and Elvis. But, you know, in this case for Michael Jackson, his family's involved. These are the people who knew him best, who were there during all these tough times, that they can tell the full, true story, and not to have other people, like you have all these movies, like for example, I know no one likes this one, but from 2004, Man in the Mirror, okay? That had nobody from Michael Jackson, to my knowledge, because I know Michael didn't even like the movie, was part of it. So yeah, people like trying to think about, okay, well, what could have happened? Let's just make a script like that. But these are people who are actually there during those times that can give them their knowledge. So when I see these things saying that because the estate and the family's part of it, they're going to go over those topics, I don't think people understand that their estate, for any artist, has to be involved, right? And, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I would like to think I'm not, you know, because I would imagine when you're doing something like that for an artist that is gone, the estate has to be involved. If they make a Prince one in a few years, you know, I'm not saying that there will be a Prince one. Like, I don't have any knowledge. I would imagine for sure one day, I think it would be great to get a Prince biopic. I like Prince's music. But I'm just saying, like, I'm sure the Prince estate would be involved, and Elvis estate was involved in the family. So, yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think about that. But I just don't think it's fair to how people are saying, oh, because the estate's involved, oh, that's it. No, like, I'm just saying, I would imagine the estate to be involved. But yes, everybody, I don't think I'm missing anything out. I wanted to make this type of video for a little bit now, especially now that we have more information about cast, filming locations, and all that stuff. But yes, everybody, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts about this biopic? What are your hopes, expectations? Are you excited? Are you, you know? I'm excited because I do think this will help get the story across. And of course, we have other amazing things coming out, Trial by Media, the Michael Jackson story, and of course, Taj Jackson's one, Rewriting History. So there are, you know, great things from Michael Jackson's legacy coming out soon. Like I said, I think the goal should be to humanize Michael Jackson and to put lay to rest all the bad rumors, bleaching the skin, allegations, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I think when it's something like this, you know, it has to be done in the right way. And I know we can say what we want about the Michael Jackson estate on some things, but I do think this will be a good project, and I just hope that it really does help Michael Jackson's legacy and helps people understand who Michael Jackson really was. Alright, everybody, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you won't miss out on any new videos. You can also follow MJ Stencil on TikTok at MJ Stencil 1958. You can also follow MJ Stencil on Instagram, which is also at MJ Stencil 1958. Alright, everybody, that's it for this video, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.